Hello and good day everyone, and welcome back to your YouTube channel, and welcome to another exciting video where I'm going to be talking about my game week 10 correct score prediction. But before I go there, I'm going to be talking about how I did in game week 9. So game week 9, I had, as you can see on the screen, I had about 5 correct results, and in there we had 3 correct score, 5 correct results, and I got just 5 wrong. So I've always been averaging 5 to 6 correct results out of the 10. I think there was a week I actually got 8 correct results. So, but this week, I won't say I did very well, and I won't say I did very badly, just averagely. 5 correct results, but 3 correct score. So let's see how that fed. But before I go there again, I'll first talk about the website I'm using to predict my correct score. It's Super BRU, as you can see on the screen. Super superBRU.com. So that is where I actually make these predictions. And if you get 28 points, you can win a whopping sum of 20 million naira. It's free to join. You can just join my league, which I'll be talking about after I talk about how I fared in my last result. So for the first game, which I got wrong, the Legend Killers against Leicester City, I actually predicted 1-1 because I thought that Leicester City are actually doing well lately, and Nottingham Forest is only beating teams that are actually in the top 6. But I was wrong there. Nottingham Forest showed their class, and they showed why they are called the Legend Killers. Defeated Leicester 3-1 away from home. Surprisingly, Wood actually had a brace in that game, which is a very, very good one for Nottingham Forest. So they're actually a team they are not just Legend Killers, and they actually beat everything. So we are in the radar, and we are going to be looking at them as the time progresses. So the next game was which I got wrong again, was Aston Villa against Bournemouth. In this game, I was talking about that Aston Villa is going to. I think I talked about they are either going to draw this game or win this game because of the Champions League matches. They have a lot of competition they are in right now, and fatigue will play in. So that's why I predicted a narrow win for them, and I felt Bournemouth was not good at all. But I think what the other assumption I talked about was actually what came to play. And they drew this game, ended 1-1, and fatigue actually came to play in this particular game. And that's why they have ended 1-1. They are a good side. Don't get me wrong. They are good. They are in the Champions League. They have been winning their Champions League game. And I guess because it's been a long time they have ever been in the Champions League, and they will want to use this opportunity in the maximum level they can. And that's why they are focusing their strength on the Champions League and not focusing on the Premier League for now. And that fatigue played in, and they actually drew that game. Predicted 2-1, but that was wrong. So the next game, which it was a mind-blowing game, Ipswich Town, a team that just came from relegation, against Mbemo and his Brentford team. That game actually ended 4-3. A very, very exciting game. Lots of late goals. Mbemo scored the last goal, which made it that 4-3. Watch the highlight of that game. I actually predicted 3-1. I knew that Brentford is going to outclass Ipswich Town, but I didn't know that Ipswich is going to score more goals than they ought to. So I predicted 4-3, and that game actually ended 3-1. Yeah, sorry, I predicted 3-1, and that game actually ended 4-3. So the next game is Brighton against Wolves, and the game ended 2-2. And I just felt like Wolves have been losing a lot of games lately. They have not been doing so well. Chelsea gave them 6-2, and they have a lot of games they have lost also this season. And I just felt Brentford, with their decent run, will win the game. But Wolves are actually coming out strong, which we'll talk about later. Wolves is actually coming out strong right now. They have some good strikers which have picked up, and they are scoring goals. And I will not be surprised if they are going to win their next game. And their fixtures are decent, which I will be talking about later. They have good fixtures. They have good run right now coming up. And I just feel Wolves will pick up from where they stopped against Brighton. So it ended 2-2, and I predicted 3-1, which I was wrong. And another prediction, Manchester City against Southampton. We all know that it's just like the best against the worst. Manchester City against Southampton. Southampton is the worst team in England right now, not doing well at all. Against Man City side, which has won virtually all their games. And I predicted that this game is going to end 5-0. Haaland is going to have a brace, and we're going to have some goals from Guardiola and some goals from maybe Luis. But I was completely wrong. It ended 1-0. Man City pressed this game, but they were very unlucky. Watch that game live. Haaland missed two sitters. He missed two sitters because Haaland is meant to have a hat-trick in this game. Very, very disappointing for a player of his caliber. It ended 1-0. He scored the only goal, very early goal, a nice kick, and he scored that goal. Ended 1-0. And just imagine if Southampton had a good player who could, though Archer actually hit the bar. Just imagine they were not that unlucky. They could have had a goal and this game would have ended 1-1. So Man City were lucky. Man City right now are shaky, and it ended 1-0, and I predicted 5-0, ended 1-0. Correct result, but not the correct score. The next game, which I actually predicted correctly, I talked about is that Everton has been doing well lately, but Fulham is a team that you can't just beat like that. And I talked about it, I analyzed it, and it was well analyzed, got the correct score, ended 1-1, predicted 1-1, and that was the correct score prediction. And the next game, another correct score prediction in a row, Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. I talked about that Chelsea, the way Chelsea is playing this season, they're going to outplay Newcastle, and that's what's actually happened. I predicted correctly, and Chelsea won 2-1. Didn't disappoint me. It was a great goal by Jackson and Palmer in that game, and Newcastle also replied the goal, which I predicted because Chelsea's defense is not so strong at the moment. So predicted 2-1, ended 2-1, and that's how that game went. And the next game, which I got wrongly, Crystal Palace against Tottenham. We saw that the Tottenham Hotspur, the injury that Son actually had really hurt them, and because of that, their team was destabilized. I actually thought that Son is going to come back from that knock and play against a Crystal Palace side, which has not been doing so well. But the team is actually having so many injury concerns, and Son was out. Crystal Palace capitalized on that, knowing fully well they are not doing so well. They had to win that game at home, and it ended Crystal Palace 1, Spurs 0. And the next game was West Ham against Manchester United. This game actually sacked the Manchester United manager. He was sacked because West Ham, who has not been doing so well lately, won this game 2-1. I expected Onana to do better, to keep a clean sheet, and Manchester City should play a very defensive game, but that didn't happen. West Ham actually won this game 2-1 and caused the manager of Manchester United to be sacked. So a new manager has been brought in, and Ruud van Nistelrooy is in the team right now. He won his first game, I think 5-2 against Leicester, and that was his first game he has won. And we'll see what happens from there. I think, let me review this game. Let's see. Yeah, he won the game 5-2 against Leicester, like I said. So we'll see how it goes from there, because he used majorly of it. He played a lot of his stars. Let's see. Okay. Bruno Fernandes was there. Rashford was there. Garnacho was there. Joshua was in there. And, you know, you're playing against a Leicester City side that is actually struggling and actually didn't even use all their players. So I'm not convinced about that game, honestly. We'll see. The first game against Chelsea, which they have, will be a test on the credential of Ruud van Nistelrooy against the Chelsea side. So the next game, Arsenal against Liverpool, which was the last game, and I got that correctly. I predicted that Liverpool and Arsenal side, a very, very good defensive side, but they are defensive. They have good defenders which can turn goals into which can turn attack into goals, and that's what have actually happened in that game. Ended 2-2. They did disappoint me. It was a correct score prediction, and that's how that game went. So I will just be talking about my game week 10 correct score prediction. But before then, This is my league. Right now, I was 5th. I've moved up to 3rd position. And let's see if anybody can win this league. The person will be getting a whooping sum of 30,000 naira at the end of the season for free. So how can you join this league for free? You just go to supersupperbru.com. Then go into leagues, go into invitation. Then type in the word teescome. 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 So when you go into the league, you join my league for free. Participate with me, predict with me, and as you're also predicting, we're also predicting to win the whooping sum of 32 million, which I talked about. It's for free. You are going to be also participating in this and also be predicting with me. If you can beat me in my prediction, then you get a whooping sum of 30,000 naira. So just before I go into my prediction, I'll just talk about the Premier League club stats right now. So right now, Manchester City has the highest goal at the moment and the highest win. So the highest win goes to Liverpool, 7 win. Man City has the highest goal, second by Chelsea, Brentford, Spurs, and Arsenal. Then the highest win Liverpool, second by Man City, Arsenal, and Aston Villa. So when you see a team with the highest win, you know that this team are teams that can hardly really lose. They are in form right now. I think this is like even the top 4 right now, or top 5. They are the best right now in the highest win. Then the worst team in England right now, Southampton, remains the worst team, followed by Wolves, which I think will change because Wolves is having very, very good fixtures. They are going to be playing against the team in the bottom half. So I think their ranking is going to improve here. I don't think they will lose any more game again. So we have Crystal Palace, which have not been doing so well. Ipswich, who just came from relegation, we understand that. And surprisingly, we have Brentford, who should have Mbemo, who has been doing extremely well, but still they have been losing their games. So let's go straight to the prediction for this game week. So the first game is Newcastle will be entertaining Arsenal in the St. James Park, and I'm predicting that this game is going to end 2-1. Why? Because Newcastle actually used their strength against Chelsea in the League Cup. If you look at their lineup, let's see. Yeah, you see we have Isak starting and playing. Though he came up, but he came up late. He came out late. We had Gordon. We have Willock playing, and these are their strengths. Okay, you have used their strength against Chelsea. I guess they were seeking for revenge. Chelsea beat them 2-1 easily, and Chelsea rested their entire 11, and Newcastle used the same players just to prove a point. I don't know the point they want to prove, but they won the game fine. I know they are not going to win that competition. They just wasted the strength. And again, you will see the proof that they wasted the strength when they are going to be playing against Arsenal in St. James Park. Just imagine they rested their players. They're going to beat this Arsenal team that has not been performing optimally lately. If you look at the stats, they drew against Liverpool. They lost against Bournemouth. And it's not really a good side right now. It's not. Arsenal has not been doing extremely well. So just imagine they are using their strength against Chelsea in the League Cup, which are supposed to use their young stars to play that game, but they use their main stars. Now they are playing Arsenal. They will be weak. Arsenal use their young stars or their reserve bench in their own League Cup, and I'm predicting that this game is going to end 2-1. Arsenal is going to win this game, and Newcastle is going to lose again. If you look at the Newcastle last result, they lost against Chelsea, they lost against Brighton, they drew against Everton, they drew against Man City, they lost against Fulham, and I think they're also going to lose against Arsenal. No brainer in there, because they have used their strength and they will be weak right now. Fatigue will definitely play in at the St. James Park. So the next game is at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth will be entertaining Man City, which has not been performing so well lately. Haaland has not been doing so well lately, but I think Haaland has been an animal in terms of scoring. Against Chelsea, he did it. Against Ipswich, he had a hat-trick. Against West Ham, he had a hat-trick. Against Brentford, he has a hat-trick. So this guy can come up with another hat-trick in this game. It's extremely possible. Haaland was fully rested in the League Cup. He was fully rested, so he will be playing he will be in the game, and I believe he's going to have at least a brace in this game. And for Bournemouth, no offense, they're a good side. They're actually a good side. They drew against Aston Villa. They won Arsenal. I don't think there's going to be an upset in this game. I just feel Man City is going to beat this game. It's going to win this game and also going to beat them very, very well. 3-0 I've predicted. So the next game, Ipswich against Leicester City. Two teams that just came from relegation. And I just feel Leicester City with their class was Jamie Vardy is going to outshine the Ipswich Town side. We see that Leicester City has been scoring goals. Apart from the game against Nottingham Forest, which they lost, and we know Nottingham Forest is a very decent side. They won Southampton, a team that also came from relegation. They also won Bournemouth side. So I just feel this is also a team that came from relegation. They are going to use that class and win that game against this stubborn Ipswich Town side, which have not recorded any win this season. So they have not recorded any win home or away this season, and I just think this game will not be an exception. It's tricky though, they are playing at home, but I just feel Leicester City, they are serious, they know what they are doing. They have been in the Premier League before. They actually won the Premier League before, and they are going to that class they have is going to show why they are called Leicester City in this game. So the next game, Liverpool will be entertaining Brighton at Anfield. And this game, I'm predicting that it's going to end 2-1, considering the fact that there's a lot of fatigues. And also, Brighton is not a weak side, extremely decent side. Apart from the game they lost against Chelsea, which you know Chelsea has been good, they have not lost any other game. It's really going to be difficult for this Liverpool side. Liverpool has not also have not lost any other game apart from the Nottingham Forest side, which are the legend killers. And they drew their first game, which I correctly predicted, against Arsenal. So this game is going to be very tough, and Liverpool need the league. They are extremely serious with this league, and I just think with their class, having Salah, Jota, I believe that class is going to help them to overcome this game and win this game. They rested most of their stars in the League Cup, so they will do extremely well and win this game slightly 2-1 against a very decent Brighton side. So the next game is the Legend Killers will be hosting West Ham at the City Ground. So I'm predicting that this game is going to end 1-1. Of course, the Legend Killers, Nottingham Forest cannot just be winning all games. I don't think they can win all games. Fatigue will definitely play in. They won their last two games against Leicester City and Crystal Palace, drew against Chelsea, also lost against Fulham, and drew against Brighton, and won against Liverpool. So they are a decent side, don't get me wrong. West Ham will be trying to prove a point in this game. Okay, they proved a point against Manchester United, which sacked the manager, and they lost against Tottenham. They won against Ipswich, and I just believe they have not been so consistent, considering the fact that they have good players in their team. But they will seek to improve their team, and they will ensure that this game goes their way. But because of the decency and the good run in the Nottingham Forest side, I just believe that this game is going to end draw. So this game is going to be ending 1-1 as predicted. So the next game, the worst team in England right now, Southampton, will be hosting Everton at the St. Mary's Stadium. And of course, Southampton has not won any game this season. That's why they are the worst team in England for now. They've just drawn just one game against Ipswich Town. Okay, they've drawn just one game against Ipswich Town. How are they going to win this game? I don't see that happening. Everything is coming up recently. Everything is coming up. Okay, they drew against Fulham. You know Fulham is extremely strong. They drew against Newcastle, but they won Ipswich, they won Crystal Palace, they drew against Leicester City. So I just believe that they will be looking for points and trying to improve on their ranking. On their recent ranking, they will be trying to improve. Let's see. Yeah. Everton presently is placed 16th position in the Premier League. And I don't think they want to relegate. Last season, they suffered a lot of point deduction. and I don't think they want to be in that danger zone of relegating. So they're going to do everything it takes to win this game. And of course, a Southampton side, they have a striker and Archer. Archer has been doing well. Apart from Man City, he has scored goals against Leicester City. He scored a goal against Arsenal. And he has actually been doing well. He hasn't been doing badly. So he will threaten this Everton side. But I just believe that the determination of this Everton side will try to play a very, very huge, significant role in helping Everton to win this game against Southampton. So the next game, Wolves will be hosting Crystal Palace. And I believe Wolves will want to revive their season, considering the fact that they are going to be having a very, very decent fixtures. They're having a very, very decent fixtures coming up. And they have not had any win so far. And considering the fact that if you watch their game against Brighton, they did extremely well. Brighton is a very decent side. If you count the best this season, if you count the best top 8 Premier League side, Brighton is part of them. And they were able to play 2-2 against this Brighton side. It shows that they have been doing a good underground work in their team lately. So that will play a part in this game against this Crystal Palace, which has not been doing so well. Just apart from this game against Spurs, just look at them. They have not won any game. That was their first win this season. So Wolves will also try to record a first win this season against this Crystal Palace, which recorded a first win in their last game. So they will keep it tight at the back and they will score a lone goal. So I predicted. But if there are going to be goals in this game, I still feel Wolves is going to edge it. So Spurs is going to be entertaining Aston Villa side in London. And I just think that this game is going to end 1-1. Son, we don't know if Son is going to play. A lot of their players are having a knock right now from the League Cup. And if you look at Spurs results recently, you see that they have lost. They are not consistent. They are just like Newcastle. They lost their last game. They won their previous game before the last game. They lost against Brighton. They won Manchester United. They won Brentford. And I just believe that they have. I don't think they have a draw. They have just one draw against Leicester City. That's at the beginning of the season. They've been winning and losing. They are not consistent, and they're going to be playing against this Aston Villa side, which is in all competition. They are in the Champions League. They are in the League Cup. FA Cup hasn't started, of course they are there, and they're in the Premier League, of course. And I just believe fatigue is going to play in because they don't have this experience in having all this competition all around them, most especially when it comes to the Champions League, the main tournament of all. So fatigue will play in, but at the same time, I was looking at their game. They rested a lot of their players. A lot of their players were rested in the Aston Villa side against this Tottenham, which was quite tired. I think they won Manchester City last night 1-0. So their team is quite tired, very, very fatigued to win Manchester City and remove them from the League Cup. So that will play a part. Normally, I just believe they are home, they should win this game, but I don't think with the fatigue they are having in their team right now, they are not going to beat this Aston Villa side, which is determined to win and do well in all competition. Then Manchester United will be hosting Chelsea at Old Trafford with a new manager, Van Nistelrooy. Congratulations to Manchester United having Van Nistelrooy. They won 5-2 against Leicester City. Onana wasn't in the post. So this is a new manager. We don't know if he's going to use Onana to keep. If he's going to use Onana to keep. If Onana is going to be on the post on this day, definitely he will concede because Palmer, Jackson right now can score against any team. Not to talk more of Onana. Onana will definitely concede if he's the one that's going to be there. If he's not going to be the one that will be there, Manchester United playing at home is going to be extremely difficult for Chelsea. It could either end a draw or Chelsea will edge in it because Chelsea did not use any player for their first 11, but of course they are upset that they lost that game and they're out of the League Cup. If you look at the stats, apart from this Liverpool game, Chelsea has not lost any game against another side apart from Man City and Liverpool. Man City and Liverpool are the two best teams in England right now, and they have not lost any other game. Against Manchester United has lost against West Ham, has lost against Tottenham, has lost against Liverpool, has lost against Brighton. So why can't they lose against Chelsea? Chelsea has been decent away from home. Just one lost, and against Liverpool, 2-1. Liverpool were extremely lucky to actually win that game. And our away record has been very, very decent in all competition. And I just believe that Chelsea will edge this game. If not, a new manager, of course, is going to change the team chemistry. And I just believe that either Manchester United will have it as a draw, or Chelsea actually edging this game and winning this game 2-1. So the next game, Fulham will be hosting Brentford at Craven Cottage. And Fulham is going to win this game 2-1. They have been decent. We know that they have been extremely decent. But lately, in their last 3 games, they have not had any win. They drew against Everton, which is trying to come up. They lost against Aston Villa side, which is classy. Against Man City. Man City were extremely lucky to beat them in that game. But apart from that, they have won their last 2 games. And I just believe that decency will continue. And it's going to end a 2-1 against this Brentford side, which has been doing well. But lately, I have not been doing so well. Against Manchester United, they lost. Against Tottenham, they lost. But I feel they are going to do extremely well against Fulham. But that their effort will not count. Mbemo will try to win the game for them, but honestly, I just believe Fulham, they are decent and they are playing at home. If, for example, if the fixtures was actually flipped, I believe Brentford is going to win that game. But it's Fulham home, Craven Cottage. They hardly lose there, and you see that clash will happen again, and Fulham is going to win that game 2-1. So I will just be going through my summary pick for my prediction for game week 10. So Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2, Bournemouth 0, Man City 3, Ipswich Town 1, Leicester City 2, Liverpool 2, Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham 1, Southampton 1, Everton 2, Wolves 1, Crystal Palace 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 1, Chelsea 2, and finally Fulham 2, Brentford 1. So if you love this video, hit the subscribe button. It's not going to take more than 2 seconds to do that. Make comments. Let's talk about football. Like the video, share it with all football fans around the world, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye and have a nice weekend.